Hello, I'm very sorry I can't be there, but thank you so much to the Lord Mayor for the invitation to speak at this hugely important event, which is so close to my heart. Although I do accept that it's probably as much of a surprise to me as it is to many of you that the man responsible for making Hugh Grant so rich and so unhappy is talking about investing for impact. But it actually does make sense. In the other half of my life, I've tried to make amends for introducing the world to Mr. Grant and Mr. Bean by working to tackle some of the biggest challenges we face. I started my second career with Comic Relief and Red Nose Day, which is all about people giving money to charitable work abroad and in the UK. Next up were the Live 8 concerts and the Make Poverty History campaign, which were raising awareness among the public and trying to put pressure on the G7 governments to do all they could to help fight global poverty. But the world is changing. I mean, I'm really struck by the existence of this meeting at all. When we did Make Poverty History, it was really impossible to engage business. We had a couple of very frosty meetings with men in suits, and they were all men. And they looked at us as though we were dangerous, card carrying, beret wearing communists. But the change of atmosphere and action since 2005 is incredible. And I really congratulate all of you on it. Make Poverty History was about the MDGs. We now have the much broader SDGs, and I'm a UN advocate for those. And in that context, I have been increasingly thinking about the power of our money in our pensions, in our banks, in all our investments, and how that money can help to create a better world. And that's why I helped launch a campaign called Make My Money Matter. Our campaign aims to mobilize the public on the power of their pensions and to use that growing momentum to shift investment decisions across the world. Because with 2.7 trillion pounds in UK pensions alone, and I think $57 trillion invested globally, the power of that money is extraordinary. Here's the biggest chunk of money many of us ever have. And without us knowing, it may be directly contradicting the things that we believe in and work for in the rest of our lives. But more than that, it was so exciting for me to think about all the good that that money could be doing and the great things that it could be invested in. I changed my pension and suddenly I'm investing in wind farms, affordable housing, medical research, green cement, even reverse vending machines. And it's so satisfying as a normal member of the public to understand the extraordinary potential of our money in not just saving for our retirement, but in fact, building the world we actually want to retire in. So if Comic Relief is about the millions and Make Poverty History was about billions, then Make My Money Matter in ESG investment is about the trillions investing in a better world for both people and planet. And that is why we are all here today, to complement financial efforts to tackle the climate emergency with work to make sure that finance has a positive social impact in a huge number of areas, including, of course, a just transition to net zero, and that this is done in a way that the communities affected will be benefiting from those changes too. And I think the big point is that this is what the public actually want. This is so crucial that in our surveys, over 2/3 of people say that they want a pension that tackles, not causes climate change. And in a government survey on investing in a better world, over half of savers said that they would actually even save more if they knew that their money was doing good. So in our campaign on net zero pensions, we've seen thousands of people write to their pension funds asking for change. Over 100 companies from Tesco to EY to IKEA have committed to providing net zero pensions for their staff. And thanks to the leadership from many key pension funds, we've seen over 50 pension funds commit to net zero, including halving emissions this decade, which is some 1.3 trillion of invested money. If this is possible on net zero, then just imagine what is possible. And it's been so exciting to start hearing the details today in investing for social impact. talking to Mark Carney and listening to even the most hard-nosed financial leaders over the past few years, we can really see that it's not now money versus morals anymore, or value versus values, that sustainable investments do present real economic rewards as well as vital social and environmental outcomes. And that is why the work of all of you here is just so important. And I applaud these efforts to develop solutions for social investment that can go to scale and mobilize the billions and trillions needed. So, my real simple message is very simple. You in this room are the necessary heroes of today who can make this happen. It really is a moment to reframe our understanding of who has the power to do good in the world. There's a really passionate younger generation coming up with issues of diversity, justice, gender, and climate in their DNA. They are the future, but they need our generation to leap into action right now. They want to know what they can actually do. And the big revelation, as they are changing the way they travel, the food they eat, the clothes they buy, the jobs they apply for, is that the use of their money is a massive weapon in their arsenal for change. At moments in history, responsibility, it seems to me, shifts onto different shoulders. And it really is my belief that the new Gandhis and Mandelas, the people who think originally and do big and radical things, will be those who move money towards sustainability and building a better world. And that is all of you here today. So, on behalf of everyone, I thank you for your commitment and passion and energy and the imagination with which you are dealing with these most critical of issues. You have the power, the experience, the brains, and it is brilliant to see those things applied with urgency and imagination. A couple of days ago, I was sitting downstairs watching Love Island when the fire alarm went off upstairs. We ran outside and the whole top of our house was on fire. We're all fine, but it just reminded me of how the safety and well-being of people can turn on a sixpence. And you are all talking about the effects that investment has on the real lives of millions of people whose lives are hard. And you are the people who can make them safe and give them a positive future. So good luck. Have a great day, and thank you for what you've done and what you are going to do.